Hey, so I just finished getting second place at the Yuma, Arizona Regional with my favorite deck, my pet deck. I was playing Evil Eye. And a lot of people have a lot of questions, obviously, because it's not a very common deck. But I've been playing it for the last couple years. I played it throughout this whole last season, and I'm playing it again this year. And yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into the deck profile, and I'm gonna show you guys I'm gonna go into depth a little bit more like how the deck functions, and I'm gonna explain short few combo lines at the end of the video. But yeah, I'm gonna start off with the starters. Main starter here is Evil Eyes Unleashed. Sends 2 from deck to grave to search for one of the equips. So you send 1 monster, 1 spell, and you search for the Selene. This alone sets up a whole board. It also has a graveyard recursion effect. If you link summon, you can banish this from the graveyard and then equip that link monster with an equip from grave, which comes up a lot. We also have Surzeal as a starter, which searches any of the Evil Eye cards on normal summon. It's also your pop, so he's your starter, but he's also part of your end board. Field spell to search the Surzeal. It has 3 effects. When it's activated, it searches. When it's destroyed, it adds him back from grave. And then during damage calc, if the equip's on the field and you take damage, you can make your opponent take the same damage. There's Terraforming, Prosperity, and then the last starter, which is mainly an extender, is Basilisk. So this one can send one from deck to grave. So as long as you have another Evil Eye card in hand, you can still do like some combos with this. So I'll show some of that later. For the extenders, there's Evil Eye Awakening, which is a monster reborn. It summons one from the deck as well, if there's an equip on the field. And then you can summon from hand or grave or deck if you have an equip on the field. There's 2 Basilisk. This is your better extender. It's a quick play to special summon itself from hand or grave as long as you control one. So it helps you keep bodies on the field, but mainly during the opponent's turn, it has a quick effect to link summon, and you can use equips as link material. And you have to make Evil Eye links, but there's 2 really good Evil Eye links that set up interaction on the opponent's turn. So this card is really, really good. There's 1 Catoblepis. So this one can summon itself from the grave if you control one. So it's like this one, but a little bit weaker. But it also has a protection effect. Once per turn, you can target a spell or trap you control. It has Evil Eye in its name, and it can't be destroyed to the end of your turn. So this helps you build the lock. It's really hard for Tenpai to break your board because of this card. And then I'm playing 2 of the Gorgoneo equips. This one makes the monster, while it's equipped, the monster gains attack toward a difference in life points as long as our life is lower. While it's in grave though, you can banish it, you can discard an Evil Eye name, and you can search for an Evil Eye spell or trap. So that could be the field spell, that could be Unleashed or Awakening, depending on what you need. I'm playing 1 Selene, so just the 3 equips. You don't really like drawing these equips. They can be breaks. If you draw 2 of them, it can be actually detrimental to your combo. So I just play 3. Drawing 1 of them isn't horrible. It helps you set up for follow-up if you're going first, or if you're going second. Seeing these cards actually gives you OTK lines. Yeah, other than that, you don't really want to see them. And then lastly, I'm playing 1 of Retribution. This one is a spell trap negate, so long as you control an Evil Eye monster on the field. It negates the activations, and then it also has the part of its effect is that it can't be negated. So you can't even judgment the Retribution as long as there's an equip on the field. This is the engine. It's 20 cards. These are your starters, extenders. And yeah, I'm gonna go right into the non-engine now because that's the other half of the deck. 20 engine, 20 non-engine. Cool, so for the non-engine, I was playing a host of hand traps, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler, 3 Droll, 2 Nib, 2 Ogre, 1 Mourner, and those are all the hand traps. Let's round off the non-engine. I'm playing 3 Forbidden Droplet. This is why I love this deck, is because there's so much flexibility in what you can do with the engine. Playing these cards just help out a lot. You can play it with the Fiendsmith engine, but then you don't get to play a lot of these non-engine pieces. and I feel like it's a little more clunkier. I was playing the Fiendsmith build before, but then I ended up swapping it out for just a lot of hand traps. Now I'm gonna jump into the extra deck now. Starting off with just like the generic links that I'm playing is 1 Phoenix and SP Little Knight. And then for the Evil Eye links is Gorgon and Zerziel. Gorgon, while it's equipped, can target a monster you control and negate its effect. And Zerziel, while it's equipped, can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. So these are both really strong effects. While it's equipped, it's also the towers. Yeah, and then I'm going to go into the XYZs, which is my favorite part of the deck. For rank 3s, I'm playing Fortune Tune. This helps you sneak out a Zeus because it can't be targeted. There's also Breaksword. Breaksword's probably my favorite XYZ in this deck. Has a lot of synergy. The field spell, when it's destroyed, it gets to add back a name from grave. So that's helpful for like extension or to set up your starters, your follow-up. Also playing Cicada King. This is part of your typical end board. You put Cicada King on the field and it's 4 summons and you have a host of interaction. But this is if they activate a monster effect, you can detach 1, target that monster, and negate its effect until the end of the turn. So kind of like an Imperm, a little worse because it could be chain blocked, but still something they have to get around. I'm also playing Azure King. This is if you draw the extra extenders. Instead of making Cicada King, you can make Azure King, and then you have a negate and destroy instead of the target negate. And then now I'm going to go into the packages. I'm playing Stone King Darius into Machinex. So this means that any Evil Eye starter equals 2 level 3s on board, which means it equals this, which means it equals a double match Zeus. So this is here mainly to bridge you into a double match Zeus play, but every once in a while you make it as a turn 1, and it's also a big threat. I really don't like making it as a turn 1 because it's 5 summons, and you have no protection through Nib that way, whereas Cicada King's 4. Azure will be 5, but at least you have the monster negate. But yeah, this is mainly for a Zeus push going second. Additionally, I'm also playing Coral Bage. So this can be made over your Cicada King. So Cicada King is used going first, but going second, you also use it a lot to bridge into Coral Bage. Coral Bage is detach 1, target a defense position monster they control, and then it shuffles it into the deck. So this is extra push when you're going second, but mainly what you're doing is for your full armored Dark Knight Lancer. This has too much synergy with this deck. When you equip a monster with an equip card, you can attach a monster your opponent controls as material. The Evil Eye engine also has ways to equip during the opponent's turn, so a lot of times you can leave this on the field as a boss monster, so that you have like non-targeting removal during your opponent's turn, which is really, really good. And then to top off the XYZs, I'm just playing 1 Typhon. It comes up every once in a while. I mean, it's Typhon. And then I'm playing 2 Zeus. There's a lot of XYZs. It's a grind deck, so second Zeus comes up every so often. So 2 Zeus is what I play. And then I'm going to jump into the side deck now. Side deck, for insurance, I'm playing 3 Solemn Judgment. And I was also playing 1 Skill Drain and a Rivalry. So just 5 cards from when you're going first, just extra insurance on the board. I'm also playing a Thrust Talents package, so 2 Thrust, 2 Talents, and 1 Change of Heart, and 1 Evenly Match. Pretty self-explanatory with those. And to top it off, I'm playing 2 Bestials and 2 Pankratops. Pankratops is just super generic. The deck thrives on simplifying the game, and Pankratops is really good at that. So yeah, that's the main list. What I want to do now is I want to jump into just a small combo video to show how the deck functions and what you're pretty much doing with the Evil Eye cards. And I'm going to start with using Unleashed, because Unleashed is the best one. You can grab Unleashed off of Surzeal too, and Surzeal can be grabbed off field spells, so this is going to be like really typical. So if you only have Unleashed as your only card in hand, when you activate it, you're going to be sending for cost a copy of Gorgon and a copy of Basiltrus, and you're going to search to your side a copy of Selene. You go Gorgon, get rid of the Selene, Now you have access to your field spell. Your field spell, once it's activated, gives you access to Surzeal. And Surzeal, when it's normal summon, gives you access to any card. And in this one specifically, we're gonna go for our extender, the Basilisk. We're gonna go for this one specifically because it needs to send one from deck to grave. And I'll show you why that's important. So if I control one, I can summon it from the deck. And then Basilisk, while it's in the graveyard, has a quick effect to summon it from the grave. So now we're like almost there. Selene has an effect in graveyard. You pay 1,000 life points. You banish an evil eye spell or trap from the grave, and you set it face down. Okay. So right here, we're gonna just equip the Surzeal, and then before we make our rank 3, we want to use Basilisk effect to send another copy of Unleashed to the graveyard. That way, when you go for a link play on the opponent's turn, that link gets re-equipped via Unleashed effect. Right here, I just go into our rank 3 of choice. But like I said, turn 1, the safest thing for me is I always just make Cicada King. So this is your like a super standard 1 card. You have a quick play pop, quick play negate, and then Basilisk, while it's in the graveyard, gives you that effect to summon and then link summon again. So you outputted 3 forms of interaction alongside of towers. So I like to see it as like 4 points of value, because the towers is something that your opponents are gonna have to like work around. This is just the bare bones combo. A lot of the times you do draw 2 pieces. So I'm gonna show what you do with 2 pieces, which is, it's really similar, but you get a little bit more out of drawing 2 than drawing the 1. So I'm gonna unleash, and then any of the other starters work, or if you draw any extender, it also works too, to increase the ceiling of the board. So if you'd already draw the Basilisk, when you go for Evil Eyes Unleashed, what you're doing here is you're actually gonna send the Catoblepas, and you're gonna send Gorgon, and you're gonna add your copy of Selene. Okay. And now here's where you have like a lot of options. Especially if you're like going second or whatever, you want to go Gorgon for the push, but Unleashed typically isn't a card that wants to get Ash. But since it's Evil Eye, people have to read it, and you can usually read whether or not they have an Ash in hand after activating this card. So you can decide to either discard Selene to search for your field spell. If they Ash you there, you can at least normal summon. You have this to special summon from grave. You have a few plays you can do, but if you want to play into the Ash, or if you don't think they have it because of the way you activated Unleash, and you discard the Basilisk, and you go for our field spell. Okay, so Selene's in hand, field spell gets activated, and that grabs you your Surzeal. Okay, so this is your setup here. When your Surzeal is played, what I do here is I go Chainlink 1 Surzeal to search, Chainlink 2 Basilisk to summon from the graveyard. The reason why you're always doing this is you're just doing checks. You're doing like hand trap checks like the whole time you're playing. So here, if they do have a Bestial to clear out the Basilisk, Surzeal resolves, and then you search the spell. This spell gets to summon 1 from the deck, which lets you get your 2 level 3s on board still. If they don't activate a Bestial in that moment, your Basilisk comes to the field, and then instead of summoning the Reborn, you can search Retribution. So now you have an extra negation on top of your board. The cat comes out of the grave, you equip to Surzeal, and now this has a little bit of a protection effect, so you protect your Selene, you still go into your rank 3, but now with 2 cards, you made your board like a good amount stronger, I think. So you now have Surzeal pop, Cicada King negate, you also have Retribution negate, Basilisk, when it goes to graveyard, lets you do the link play. And then on top of that, your towers is a good amount stronger. So now Surzeal can't be targeted or destroyed, and Selene can't be destroyed to the end of the turn. So that's pretty much it. It's a very straightforward deck. The lines are very easy, I think. They're very quick. It's just 4 summons. A lot of times you can just normal summon. If you get Full Lust, you don't have to commit to the Cicada King. You can just leave some stuff in grave, and you can have Surzeal, Retribution, Link Play, plus your hand traps. The reason this deck is good this format is because all the high impact cards that are good against the meta decks are very low impact against this deck. Things like Impulse only stop one of the level 3s from coming out. So if you have another extender, you can still put an XYZ. But even stopping the level 3s from coming out is only stopping me from making XYZ. It's not stopping me from setting up Surzeal, Retribution, or the Link Play Engrave. Yeah, Imperm, Ash, Valor, all these cards, low impact. The card that is high impact against this deck is Droll, but that's high impact against the engine, so as long as you draw enough non-engine to keep you into the game to the next turn, Droll isn't like a huge issue. Yeah, Nib is usually a -1. But yeah, I just also think this deck has a lot of good matchups, but that's pretty much the combo. And thanks for watching. I'm really stoked that I was able to get like a top finish. That was actually my highest placing that I've gotten with the deck, and the second top 8 that I got this year with it. So yeah, really excited. I'm gonna keep playing the deck and see how much farther it takes me. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys like the deck.